Hello my internet friends. Today we're going to be covering the Microsoft Excel function accrued interest. I would highly recommend pouring you a long drink of sweet tea and sit back because this is going to be a long one. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So glad you could join me. John Gibson here with I Need Examples. Please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon to get new video updates. What is it? Before we dive right into the examples for accrued interest, we need to understand what accrued interest is and break the formula down to each one of its independent arguments. By definition, accrued interest is the interest that adds up each day between coupon payments. So, Microsoft Excel formula accrued interest simply returns the accrued interest for a security that pays periodic interest. Now let's break down each one of the required and optional arguments for accrued interest. Issue, also known as the issue date, is simply the date on which the security is issued. This can also be the first date when the interest will start accruing. First interest. This is the date the accrued interest will be added to your security. Settlement, also known as the settlement date, is the date after the issue date when the security is traded to the buyer. This can also be the date when the interest will start accruing. Rate, or interest rate, is the annual interest rate of the security. Par. Par value refers to the face value of a security. Par value is most important with bonds, as it represents how much the bond will be worth at the time of the bond's maturity. Par value for a bond is usually $1,000. This is why the default, if left blank in the Excel formula, will be $1,000. Frequency. This is the number of payments per year. The three options for frequency are 1 for annual payment, 2 for semi-annual, and 4 for quarterly. Basis. This is an optional argument for the formula. This is a method of counting the number of days between two dates. There are several methods. I've left a link in the description below that goes into more detail. Calc method. This too is an optional argument. This is a logical value, true or false, that specifies the way to calculate the total accrued interest when the date of settlement is later than the first date of interest. A value of true returns the total accrued interest from issue to settlement. A value of false returns the accrued interest from first interest to settlement. If you do not enter the argument, it defaults to true. Example 1. Now that we are more familiar with the accrued interest function in Excel, we will show an example. Here we have the arguments that are needed to complete the formula. Par, or face value, is set at 1,000. Annual coupon rate is set at 5%. Securities issue date is set at 6/1/2022. Securities settlement date is set at 8/1/2022. First interest date is set at 11/30/2022. Payment frequency is set at 2 because we would like it 2 times a year. Basis is set at 0 and calculation method is set at 1. Since the calculation method is set at 1, we will be getting the accrued interest between issue date and first interest date. Now let's create our function. We will click in the cell which we would like to have the value, click on our Insert Function button, and type in the function we are looking for, ACCRINT, which is the function name for the accrued interest, and click on Go. As you can see, the accrued interest function shows up. We will select that and click on OK. Now our function arguments panel is displayed, and it will show what arguments we need to insert. The first argument is issue, so we will come over here and find our security issue date and click on that cell. The next is the first interest. We will click on the first interest text box and come over to our list and click on first interest date. Next we are looking for our settlement date, so we will click on the settlement date text box and click on the corresponding settlement date value. Next is our rate. We will click on the 5% rate. Next is par, so we will click on that text box and click on the value for par. The frequency, we'll click on the text box and we'll click on the payment frequency of 2. Now the next two are optional: basis, which will automatically default to 0, and calc method, which will automatically default to true. Since we already have the values, we will go ahead and put those into our arguments. So basis, we will click on the basis cell, and the calc method, we will click on the calc method value. Once we were done, you could see that we have a value of 8.33, which is the value that we are looking for. So we will hit OK, and now our accrued interest is calculated to 8.33. If we go up here to the formula bar, you will see that we have our accrued interest formula, and each argument is highlighted in its corresponding color. So we have D6, which is our issue, and it is shown right here under the securities issue date. We have our first interest, which is our D8. We have our settlement, which is D7. We have our rate, which is D5. We have our par, which is D4. We have our frequency, which is D11. We have our basis, which is D12. And we have our calc method, which is D13. If you would like to see examples on any topic, seriously, anything, please leave a comment below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. This has been John Gibson with I Need Examples. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.